It's not going to be an overnight thing, but at the end of the day, it is a journey of 1,000 miles. We'll have to start with a one step, a one bold step. And that's the bold step we are having tonight. I can assure you that this conversation is going to end in a way that will set the pace for us to rethink the return.
Okay.
And reposition the stand, the return. The entertainment and the tourism aspect of it is good, but I think we are overdoing it. And business, border business, transnational business, and entrepreneurship is suffering.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So I know this will come later, but Madam Lady Angie was in Ghana recently, and I had the same conversation with her. That what I don't understand is that British have two banks operating in Ghana as we speak right now, Standard Bank and Barclays Bank. Nigeria alone has over 5 banks operating in Ghana: Bank of Africa, UBA, Zenith Bank, Access Bank, Trust Bank. South Africa now has 2. The Indians have Bank of Baroda. The Arabs have the Sahel Bank. But the question is, which bank represents the diaspora in Ghana?
Right.
So if you're in the diaspora and you want to channel resources into your projects in Africa, which bank is going to do that transaction for you?
Right.
So we have come to a point that we have to move the conversation from let's come and have Africhella and dance our heart out. Let's come and go to Elmina and Cape Coast and be told a story. We wipe our tears, we come and pack our baggage, and we go back, and nothing has happened. We need to also focus on the economic aspect. Oh, Queen Mother Ajwa, Alice, you're welcome on board.
Hi.
We appreciate the good things you're doing, especially for the people of Nungwa.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. So, Nia Santi, so that is the deal. And I'm saying that now Africa has become a free trade area. The entire continent has become a free trade area. We need to look out for construction because that is where the investment is going to be. We need more roads. We need more new airports, new seaports. We need schools. We need bridges. We need the construction industry is big and it's expanding. So that is where the diaspora, I am suggesting and pleading that they should turn their attention to. Collectively, we have to do this together and create a world for ourselves in Africa.
Thank you, Mr. Opai. I think it's 4:05, so maybe we will officially start. We are streaming live on Facebook. Keymama Show. Thank you.
Okay. So I would like to take the opportunity to welcome all of you on board. Mr. P.C. Asante, I think this is the first time. I don't know whether we have met before.
No, we haven't as yet. This is the first time.
Oh my God. And the connection is so amazing. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay. And then Lady Angie was in Ghana recently. She toured the entire of the country and then went to Egypt to see the Black people in the Nubians in the Nile Valley. And that was an amazing thing she did. So amazing. So Lady Angie, I salute you for being part of this event.
Thank you for the invite.
Queen Mother Ajwa Alina Mensa has been doing a great job. As we speak right now, he has a festival that is coming up here in New York. In New Orleans. New Orleans, very good. Yes. In just next month. And that's a fantastic festival because the festival captures that of Africa, West Africa, and the cultures of Ghana and Ivory Coast. And I think you deserve our salutation. We salute you for all the good things you're also doing. Keymama is the host of the Keymama Show in New York. She has been organizing the Ghana Festival every year in New York. She's such an amazing woman. And Keymama, I'm proud of you. We salute you for all that you do. She's also part of this event, and I'm so grateful.
Hello, sister.
I can see Mr. Gizo, Mr. Jefferson Gizo is also here with us. He used to be part of the AU, I had worked with DU. He was in Brussels, but he's on retirement and returned to Ghana. I can see him on call too. So, Mr. Gizo, I really am so happy to have you on board. I think I've seen Mr. Jerry of Edinkra. I've seen him too. Is there a way I can be seeing the people so I can appreciate them before we even start a program? I want to appreciate everybody who's on call as much as possible. Okay, so Queen Gloria Jenny is also on call. I appreciate. Thank you. Commissioner Leslie Cruz of Sedgwick County. I'll see you on call. I really appreciate your coming. I've also seen that we have Mr. Talib Muhammad, who has also come on board, and I really appreciate. I'm so grateful to see you on board. As many as who join later, I'll have the opportunity to introduce them, because like I said from the beginning, this is not about somebody who knows something that is coming to deliver a lecture. It's a cordial family conversation. And intermittently, we're going to have people with practical experience who will share their experience with us. So all of you on call at the moment, I salute you all and thank you for coming. Let me see if I can share my screen so we pick it up from there. So, Keymama, can you help me to share my screen?
Yes, multiple share, so you can share now.
Okay. Okay. So without wasting much time, can we invite Mr. Santi to give us a prayer so we can start? I haven't even told you ahead of time, but I know you can do it. So Mr. Santi, can you give us a prayer so we can start this conversation? Thank you.
Why you put this, my brother? Almighty and everlasting Father, we give thanks today for this assembly of bringing us as brothers and sisters around the world together. It's the combination that's long overdue to bring Africa forward. And without your help, we would not have been there. In Jesus' name, we accept the privilege. Everybody say amen.
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 So thank you so much. My name, once again, is Francis Opai Tetteh, and I'm your humble servant. I work for the Holistic Migration Consult in Accra. I am also responsible for promoting beads that are made in Ghana. So as you can see, I have my beads on. Even with this conversation, I have my beads on. So I'm equally in charge of the Krubu Beads Bank. I'm currently in Orlando, Florida, because I'm participating in the World Mayors Conference, the World Conference of Mayors, and I'm here representing the Republic of Ghana. I thank God that yesterday I was crafted into the board of the world body, and that is a good news for Ghana. And I have also been made the country representative for the Republic of Ghana. So I represent as a country director for World Conference of Mayors. Currently, I'm studying migration at the University of Ghana at the MPhil level. I have my thesis to defend, then I can call myself a migration scholar. I hold first degree in agricultural agribusiness from the Central University in Accra, and also a diploma in agricultural economics from University of Ghana. And I was also at Kwadaso Agricultural College, so those of you who know. So my life, I have been studying agricultural science. And even with this migration that I'm doing, my research area has been trying to look at migration and agricultural transformation in the Nandong district of the Upper East region of Ghana. So that is little about me. I live in Ghana, Accra, and I have the hope of becoming a migration scholar, so we can help our people who want to migrate in Africa not to go through the desert. They're walking through the Sahara Desert and trying to cross the Mediterranean Sea, and a lot of them are losing their lives. So if you want to migrate internationally, we are there to help you to take that decision and do the right thing. Migration is not all about international migration. We also have what we call internal migration, people migrating within the continent, and we are also equally interested in that. And whatever your migration needs, when you come to us, we are able to help you to be able to do it and do it very, very well. So that's all about me and the Holistic Migration Consult that has put together this event. Once again, we want to thank Keymama Foundation for helping us with your Zoom platform to be able to reach out to everybody for this conversation. So like I said, we are going to hold this family conversation throughout the whole year. So last Saturday in every month, we want to engage each other in this conversation. Next month, we'll be looking, we have engaged a lawyer to come and help us that if somebody wants to become a citizen of Ghana, what are the requirements? What are the things you need? What are the procedure? All of that will be communicated in the February edition. So for the February edition, we have decided to dedicate that one to citizenship application and the related issues. But today, this conversation is not about somebody who knows and want to talk. It's about a family looking for how we can solve the one particular problem. I believe that, so going forward, the question is, why this conversation? And I'm saying there's a great misinformation and misunderstanding between the people of Africa and the Africans in the diaspora. Misinformation because a lot of people have been told things about Africa, and those of us in Africa have been told things about the Africans in the diaspora. So all of us have formed some opinions or we have learned some things that we need to unlearn and relearn, so that the relationship between the diaspora and then the native Africans or the Africans in the motherland, we can bridge that gap. So the next question is, what do we want to achieve with this conversation? It's simple. We want the Africans in the motherland to understand the Africans in the diaspora. As it stands right now, I think we don't understand you. And then I also want I want us to use this platform to also help the Africans in the diaspora to understand the Africans back at home. We need this to be able to achieve whatever we want to achieve, be it business, academic, tourism, or entertainment. We need to understand each other so we can operate as a people. Like I said, we have people that will come in to share their experience, and it won't be long. I'm just laying the foundation, so I'll call them to share their experience in this family conversation. The African diaspora, where are they? They are all over. And we can find them, the Caribbeans and those in the West Indies, we call those in the South America. And then the North America, we have them in the United States of America and Canada, they are there. If you go to Europe, you'll find them there. If you go to Asia, they are there. That is India. If you go to Australia, they are there. So the Africans in the diaspora are everywhere. And the time has come for us, like I said, let's understand each other so we can work. I know you understand some of these things already, but I want to take some few minutes to explain what a diaspora is. And the term diaspora is used to describe people who have moved from their original home country, usually against their will, to foreign countries around the world. And it happened to the Jews during the Roman rule. They were moved from Judea to other places. And for us in Africa, most importantly, the one we remember very well was the infamous transatlantic slave trade that, according to a conference, UNESCO conference held in Haiti in 1986, this heinous crime took place between 1450 to 1850, a period of over 400 years. And in it, over 210 million people were moved out of Africa into the New World. So diaspora, just connotes, is a term that is used to describe this kind of people who have been moved from their country, original countries of origin. Another school of thought is also that group of persons of the same ethno-national origin who themselves or their ancestors freely or under coercion migrated from one place to another or several other places to settle in other places, maintain their identity, and then maintain the identity and of various and various kinds of contact with the place of origin, and that is what we see with the diaspora right now. We maintain our identity in everything we do, the food we eat, our culture and everything. We are trying very well to connect back to Africa, so that where there's disconnection with our culture, our tradition, we can have that reignited. And I'm so happy seeing a lot of African Americans, people from the Caribbean and the West Indies coming to Africa, engaging in all manner of projects, getting themselves traditional roles and responsibilities. Amazing picture that is happening right now, and it's so amazing. So how did we get into the diaspora? It was through voluntary migration. People wanted to seek for greener pastures. So that is the economic reasons. People went there for further studies. They wanted education, so they went to study and they never came back. Others also went there because they have husbands or wives there and they wanted to join them. So people migrated, people have found themselves in the diaspora based on, it was their voluntary or their personal reasons that they wanted to migrate to go and seek economic reasons or to seek greener pastures. There were others that were also there, but they did not go voluntarily. They went there because somebody forced them. And that was what we, migration people call the forced migration. They were forced to move. They were like the transatlantic slave trade. Our forefathers, our kings and queens, were put in chains and cut away to the so-called new land. And they have used their labor to build the very foundation of what has become the European industrial revolution. Our sweat and toil produce the raw materials in the mines, in the plantations that were to feed those factories. And that we can beat our chest and say that the industrial revolution that so many people have taken credit for, these were the sweat and toil of our fathers who were taken away in chains. And then there were others who also traveled to the diaspora from Africa as asylum seekers. The numerous civil wars and the tribal conflicts that we experience in Africa caused people to move out and went to seek asylum as refugees. And for that reason, they have been part of the diaspora. So when you look at the people in the diaspora, they are a mixture of people who have migrated based on various reasons. And so these are some of the reasons that I have spoken about briefly. My focus really is on the diaspora, because I still maintain that those of us in the motherland, we don't understand the diaspora. Because where the confusion is that some of our people who have migrated from motherland to go and seek greener pastures abroad have come back with all forms of material wealth. Some have come to build hotels. Some have come to set up law firms. Some have come to build private schools and universities. Some have come with all manner of vehicles to build houses. Some really have come to show off. So now, when you look at all of this, it has kind of put something on the mind of the people in the diaspora that traveling abroad can help you to conjure magic to create wealth overnight. And as we speak right now, if you go to prayer camps and mountains in Ghana right now, and elsewhere in Africa, you see people with their passport in their pocket praying overnight, fasting, so that when they go for visa interview at the American embassy, they will not be denied visa, they will be granted visa so they can travel. That is the mindset, that there is so much wealth in where you are. And therefore, when you are coming from that place to visit Africa, you are coming with all manner of dollars in your bag. It's quite unfortunate mindset, but that is the mindset here. I told you I'm here in a conference. Let me go back to Africa. Everybody wants to explain that, what did you bring from America? They don't care whether you came for a conference or you came to work. As long as you had opportunity to come here, you are coming back home with work. So that is the mindset of the people. That is the mindset. And that is the same mindset that is driving people to walk under the scorching sun of the Saharan desert and then go and try to cross the Mediterranean Sea to enter Europe through that dangerous means. All of this mindset is driving people to do all manner of things. All this mindset is the same mindset that is causing people to consult all manner of oracles so they can get a favor to be able to migrate. So the mindset of the people at home is very, very interesting. But when we also look at, when we review materials that are available, we realize that even the people in the diaspora, you also have your own challenges. Mountains of them. I can see a serious disunity because it is difficult to put people together to drive an agenda. It was the grace of God that Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey, and Malcolm X and Co were able to push some of these things, but it is difficult. And we are not blaming you that it is difficult for you to work together, because that was the system you grew up in. When last time I was in New York, Madame Catherine Kujo or Keymama gave me a book, and the title is The Black and White of Manhattan, The History of Racial Formation and Colonial New York. And that book was written by Thelma Wills. And it principally talked about how Manhattan or New York was established or was formed. And one thing I saw so interesting in that book has to do about a law that was made. First, it was, you cannot have more than 4 Africans be together at a given time. And later they reduced it to 3. So there was a law enacted to make sure that, because they have realized that the moment they allow the Africans to be together, something extraordinary happened. They either write a song to encourage themselves to make themselves bold, or they rebel and cause mayhem. So there have been laws, or in your situation, you call them ordinances, that were put together deliberately to make sure that you guys do not unite against, to do something or rally behind an idea. So that is a system you have gone through. And how many of the people in the diaspora, in native Africa or African land, are aware of that? There were laws like that has produced people who are not able to rally behind, to form a group to push an agenda. We also learn about the racial hatred you guys are going through. And no race has gone through hatred more than the Black people. And it's a fact. Another book written by one man I respect so much, Claude Anderson, and the title of the book is Powernomics. Very, very great book. And I want to say thank you to the Matisse for having me, giving me that book when they came to stay in Ghana. Amazing book. And in the book, I look at the statistics about the number of African Americans that were murdered just for reaching out for their wallets from their pockets. They lost their lives. So racial hatred and discrimination, premeditated murder, needless imprisonment, joblessness, homelessness, high rate of school dropout. When you look at the kind of things that you have to battle with on a daily basis, we realize that things are not easy for the diaspora community. And that is the reason why you have also come up in a certain way. And the native, the Africans in the motherland don't seem to understand all this. They don't seem to have this information. So there's a disconnect, and we need to bridge this gap today and the days ahead of us. That's why we are having this conversation. Those of us also in the motherland, yes, like I said from the beginning, they said one of the strategies that were used to select which of the people were strong enough to be able to make the journey. You open your mouth and show your teeth, and they hit a hammer against it. And if all your teeth are intact, it means you are strong enough. You push you into it, you go. If you lose one teeth, it means you are not strong. They leave you behind. So women, children, and weak people were left behind on the continent. By the grace of God, these people have been able to hold the continent together for this number of years. But we also have challenges back at home. The same issues that you are dealing with in the diaspora are the same issues we are dealing with here. We have political systems that are not that the people are not familiar with, but we have to implement it at all costs. Because if you don't do that, you don't get the subventions or the support you need from the diaspora, from the other side of the world. We have people that are constantly fighting each other. We have our lands going, and all manner of so even those of us in Africa, just like you have listed some of the things you are going through in America, in the Caribbean and the West Indies, those in Australia, those in other parts of Asia and Europe, the Africans back at home also have a lot of challenges. But the question is, we need to understand each other. We need to address it. If you are hurt and they put the plaster on it, when it's time for them to treat the wound, they won't let the plaster be on the wound. They will remove it so that they can get access to the wound and treat it. We have gotten to a level where we need to open the wound up so we can treat it and treat it very, very well. And that is this conversation. We need to understand each other. We need to take time to study, to review documents, to listen to news, to go on the net and find out what our people in the diaspora are going through. The diaspora, you should also take time. Don't listen to all the manner of stories you were told. Africa is filthy. Africa is the headquarters of poverty. Africa is the headquarters of all the communicable diseases. We drink from the gutter. We live on top of trees. You are told all of this. But the question is, if it's indeed Africa is all that they talk about, why is America having over 56 investments or companies in Ghana alone? Yes. And unfortunately, these are not companies that belong to the Black or the African American community. We can talk about Coca-Cola, Cargill, Ghana. We can talk about Newmont Mining Company. We can talk about a whole lot of them. 56 of them are operating in Ghana. How many of these companies are from the African American community? So if indeed we are living on top of trees, why is Total here in Ghana? If indeed we are living on top of trees, why is Coca-Cola operating and making it big in Ghana? If we are living on top of trees, why is Cargill Ghana here processing cocoa into unfinished product and pushing them out to make more profit? If indeed we are living on top of trees. Why is the American embassy here operating in Ghana? So when you are told of some of these things, it's up to you to also do yourself to find out whether these things that people are saying about the diaspora is indeed the truth or not. And like I said, that is why we are here. Without wasting much time, I will switch and then give opportunity to some of us on call at the moment who have extensive experience about the motherland and that also of the diaspora to share their experience. And I want this experience as we share is not for us to be emotional about anything, but we are looking out for solution to a problem. And the problem that I am talking about right now is that the diaspora does not understand the native Africans at the motherland. And we also do not seem to understand you. You have been in Africa before. You've also lived in the diaspora. How can we bridge this gap so that the moment we understand each other, then we are ready to work together? So without wasting much time, let me call on Angie. Angie, I know you have another Zoom meeting to attend. So let me call you to share your experience briefly so that others can also follow. Thank you, and God bless you all for taking time to be part of this conversation. Angie, let's hear you.
Mr. Opai, please, have you done with your slides?
So you can put it, yes, my dear.
Okay,
Thank you very much for your support. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you. My name is Angela Johnson, and I do have, but first of all, I want to again just say thank you for this opportunity to connect with you all.
Okay, excuse me, Andy, Mr. Opai, you have to turn it off from your end.
I'm trying to do that immediately, so give me some few minutes. Let me see.
Thank you. Okay, Angie.
Okay. I do have a presentation. I'll just share. I was asked to be a part of this conversation as a member of the diaspora. And as I shared with Brother Francis, when the invitation was extended, I know this is a conversation, but I do have a presentation because that's just how I'm wound and set up. Okay.
Okay. So,
but,
so you can share your screen and go ahead with it. Thank you.
I will share my screen.
Before you go ahead, let me also acknowledge a few people we have here. Like I can see King Jerry of Dinkra. I can see you. Thank you very much. I think you're the one. Jerry is on call. Thank you. Frankie, you promised we are coming and you're on call. I really, really appreciate. And Davis, you're on call. Thank you so much for being here. And the first Haitian American African queen. Oh my God, she's so rich. Just this afternoon, I read your profile when your coronation was going on all the way in Nigeria, and that was a fantastic thing. I appreciate, and I'm happy to have you on call. Keymama, thank you. Angie, thank you. Janelle, thank you, and Mr. Gizo, thank you. Let me see the rest that are still here. Oh, the Martis are here. Martis, Marie and her husband are here. Like I said, they shared a book with me, the Powernomics, and I'm happy to have them on call. Ni Akli said, thank you for being on board. Shandov, all the way from the Yilokrobo municipality. Thank you so much. And Mr. Limo, all the way from Shanghai in China. You also on call. Thank you. Mr. Pisi Asante, thank you so much for coming on board. Ning Teria Kone, thank you. Nana Abina of the Nabina Tours. Thank you so much for being on call. Thank you. So Angie, please go ahead.
Wonderful. Thank you. And thank you for sharing who all is on the call. That is helpful. So again, just to share a bit about myself and how it is that I am a part of this conversation. As Brother Francis has shared, and as I began by saying, my name is Angela Johnson, and I currently reside in the U.S., specifically in the state of Kansas, where if you look at a map of the U.S., put your finger right in the middle, north, south, east, west, where your finger lands is where I sit at this very moment. And again, this is such a blessing to be able to be a part of this conversation and share with you all my experience as an African American looking to connect to my roots, my background, to understand my roots and background. So again, thank you for this opportunity. So again, from my experience, this is an opportunity to have a candid, honest, open conversation about the experience being in the diaspora and looking to reconnect with my history. And I still consider myself to be new to my journey, but this is an opportunity to share what that journey has been so far and to be available for questions as well as shared dialogue with what it means to reconnect and to be a part of the diaspora. So with that, it's important to know who you're talking to and who's talking to you. So I am unapologetically an African American, born, educated, and living, working in the US currently. I am a mother, a daughter, a sister, a friend, a servant leader, and I am educated. I hold multiple degrees here earned here in the US. I am a professional. My academic background and professional background showed up is I consider myself to be a geographer. Specifically, I'm a community development consultant working primarily here in the US, addressing urban issues. Brother Francis mentioned a number of the experiences of minorities and of the diaspora in the diaspora and in the US. I work on a daily to address and have impact in those areas. Additionally, I'm a business owner. I'm a student, though a work in progress. I am unapologetically a person of faith. I have a perspective that we are all here for a purpose, and that faith and that belief is what drives what I do and how I show up in this gift of life that I'm given. And what I think is most important and relevant to today's conversation is I'm on a journey. I'm on a journey to really know my roots by discovering my lineage while deliberately living out a purposed life. And I've been actively pursuing that for a number of years. And as someone, I don't believe I need to go into the history of what it means to be, and Brother Francis has already shared what it means to be a member of the diaspora. I am an African American that I don't know exactly and precisely where on the motherland my roots came from. So I've been on a quest and on a journey for a number of years to understand that. And as an African American looking to understand where I came from and where is my lineage, one of the things that I have done, and I'll start again by giving you a fuller understanding of who I am and why I'm before you all right now to part of this conversation, is I've engaged in doing a ancestry DNA test. Now, I know even people here in the States have feelings about participating in things like this, but for me, I elected to participate to really understand what's in my blood, where is my lineage originating from. And I'm sharing with this group, as Brother Francis shared, is the conversation amongst family and friends. I'm sharing with my new family and friends. This is what I've learned about myself. Wow. And even driving even more deeply into trying to understand my experience and where my family comes from. One of the things I was able to learn is that on my maternal side, this is where my family originated from on my maternal side. So that's important to me. What I have been able to do, and I will acknowledge this is not something that the majority of African Americans or people in the diaspora can do, but I have been able to travel, I won't yet say extensively, but travel to a number of areas directly on the African continent to really get more perspective and understanding and lived experience in being on the continent. And I'll use the remainder of my time just to share some highlights and some perspectives from those experiences, as well as some celebrations and some concerns while we're having this honest, candid conversation with my own personal experience being of the diaspora, but having the opportunity to actually be on the continent. So my very first trip to the continent was to South Africa. What an amazing way to be introduced to the continent. And how that came to be was, as I mentioned, I'm a person of faith. And a part of my experience has been studying theology. And during a time while studying theology, as a part of that curriculum, we were able to travel, select this place to travel to and really explore that area, that community, that location, from a perspective of not only being there physically in the beautiful land that we would be in, but also from a cultural and a spiritual perspective. So my first trip was to South Africa. One of the things I always do when I travel to specifically, and I find I do this especially since being in Africa, is my very first time I lay my eyes on the land, I take a picture from the airplane. So that was my very first time looking at the African continent, and the picture that was there you see in the upper left. And this was an experience that was life-altering. And that, again, it wasn't about just being a tourist and seeing the land, though it was beautiful and that absolutely was a part and a major part of the experience. But it was about being able to connect to the people and to be able to have conversations with people. And that's what we did. When I reflect back on the most favorable times that I had is when we had the opportunity to be in direct connection with people, to have conversation and to talk and learn about what it meant to live in that space, what it meant to have visitors from the diaspora, part of that space, and what the experience was. And again, these are just a few of the pictures and highlights from that experience and from that time in South Africa. But again, it being about the people, but also about the beauty of the land. And I will say that these pictures are not stock photos. These are actual photos that I took, including that beautiful photo with the giraffe and the sunrise, which was an amazing experience. My second time on the continent was to Senegal. Again, an amazing experience. That was in 2020. I was in South Africa in 2015. In 2020, I was in Senegal as a part of a partnership with my sorority, an organization I'm a part of, and Build On, in order to build a school there in Senegal and to be there for the groundbreaking. What was amazing about that experience, again, is just the embracing. And yes, we were there to be able to make a difference by, in these photos, it shows what they initially were utilizing it as their place to educate 2 villages in this area. And we were able to build a solid building for them. But the way we were embraced, and I say we, I went with this great sister of mine. This has been teaching us how to dance properly. Again, spending time in homes, in conversations with families. We were adopted. I still have relationship and connection to my family there in Senegal, to be able to know that what we did was something that continues to make a difference. And it's not only about what we did, but that we as individuals and as a part of the diaspora, are still a part of that community as far as being able to engage. Also being able to, just as in South Africa, visit the land and see the landmarks and part of the community and of the country. Such a blessed opportunity to have been able to do. Again, thinking about some of the most memorable experiences, this was my first time being at Slave Castle and visiting a door of no return. And for me, it's almost an act of civil disobedience to be able to go back, because the thought was, and the experience for most, is that there was no return. But as I visit different areas along the coast, I always make sure to go to a door of no return and to walk through it and then to come back in as an act of acknowledgement that no, what was meant to harm is not going to harm here. And I'm going to defy that. So just sharing some photos from that experience as well. My third trip, I've been on the continent on 3 occasions. My third trip, and actually this was my 4th country to visit, was to Egypt. And again, the experience with that. Now, yes, you can return and have some experiences as a tourist, but really it was about seeing the history and the just the surrealness of being there to see what we have been taught about in many of our books here in the U.S. And to be able to connect in major ways to, again, the people that were there. I spent time in Aswan in the Upper Nile, where Nubian Egyptians are, which is really where I wanted to have spent more time, to really again see me and to see the experience of those who live in that area, and to reconnect and to engage. Also have spent time in Ghana, which was a part of my most recent visit to the continent. Again, these are highlights. In no way do these pictures capture the fullness of the experience. But again, I was crushed that I did not have a window seat. So this is my view from across my seat to be able to lay my eyes on the land. But again, to have the opportunity to connect and engage. We spent time in the Ashanti region where we were welcomed and given names. Again, time spent at sites that were key to the experience of those prior to leaving the continent, and being able to reconnect and engage. And actually, the bottom left picture there is my own feet in those same waters, which is very symbolic and meaningful for someone from the diaspora. And again, looking and experiencing the slave castles and the door of no return, which, as I've shared, is a act of resistance, if you will, for me to be able to do that, and do that on behalf of my family. So thoughts of continued connections, both beyond and within the border. For myself, and again, I speak from one experience as someone who's a part of the diaspora, still wanting to continue engagement and learning and growing. For me, when I look at my lineage, I have on my paternal side, my grandfather came from Jamaica. Still looking to reconnect and engage and learn about even that aspect of my history. Had an opportunity to, in traveling back from the continent, traveling through France to come back, a typical connection, a frequent connection for those of us returning back. And even while there, had an extended layover, being able to connect to Africans in the diaspora who are currently in France and build connections and relationships. As I shared earlier, when I am able to trace at least one side of my lineage to Cameroon, wanting to explore and learn more about that. Panama, we're there as well, and I have family that are there, and exploring that, as well as here in the US. How do I help in bridging the connection and expanding knowledge and awareness and dispelling myths here in the US? And how does that relate to Ghana, which for me is, and I'll share more about that, a space where I see myself being more engaged, and where I am becoming more engaged and connected as a member of the diaspora, looking to connect in meaningful ways there on the continent. So, current thoughts, and the positives of current thoughts based on my quick, what we would say, cliff note overview of just the context of where I come from in this conversation and my experiences. My current thoughts, positive. One, I returned. There are so many of us in the diaspora who have not had the opportunity and will not have the opportunity to return. I am thankful that I have been able to return multiple times and look to continue to be able to connect and engage directly on the continent. I was embraced and celebrated as a quote unquote, I put quote unquote sister, because I heard that so often. And when I was in Egypt, I was referred to as a cousin. True, I was embraced. As Brother Francis shared earlier, I'm a part of this conversation because I have a lived experience as a member of the diaspora, to be able to speak to not only being a member of the diaspora, but also having the opportunity to have actually connected on the continent, and in many places and in many spaces and in many ways. Now, thoughts as far as concerns. And I want to do a pause. This is a candid, open conversation, right, amongst family, correct?
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that that's the case as I go through some of my thoughts and experiences and concerns. As a member of the diaspora looking to reconnect and having reconnected, you know, my first, from my experience is, you know, am I nothing more than a wallet? And I'll share where that came from. During my time, and actually I noticed it in all of my visits, but especially during my visit to Egypt recently. And though I have expressed how on my time on the continent, I have been what I feel sincerely embraced by many, there are times absolutely that I felt that, okay, I am a wallet. I was often told, you know, if you don't open your mouth, they won't know. But as soon as you open your mouth, they know you're American, you're going to be interacted with, received or not received, treated differently. You're going to get different costs and prices. They're going to, all of that. And that absolutely was the case. And it was so much so, and for those who know me, I am very sincere and genuine in my interactions. If I ask someone, hey, how are you? I really want to know how you are, and I really care. And I took that with me as I interacted on the continent and in Egypt especially. And what I experienced is a number of, you know, conversations back. It seemed genuine, and people were seemed genuine about me as a person and my visit and my experience. And it turned into a sales pitch, a high pressure sales pitch. And I found different scenarios like that throughout the time. And I asked my guide that was with me, you know, help me to understand that. Because I have these interactions, I seem very genuine, and really it turns into just a sales pitch of sorts. And what my guide said to me is that you're a wallet. You are a wallet. And even thinking about that from, not thinking about experiencing it from an individual perspective, as well as wondering within the systemic setup of Africa and African countries and how those of us from the diaspora are considered and thought about, are we looked at as wallets, opportunities to bring resources and dollars into respective communities while we're there? Is that really the value that we bring as members of the diaspora? Something that has come to mind, something perhaps we can talk about in this conversation or future conversations. As a member of the diaspora who truly wants to connect, my question and my concern is, will I be truly embraced as a member of the community, or will I be still considered to be an other? And as an African-American, when the term other is used, it's based on a context of, from our experience, we are in the minority. And things are thought first from the perspective of the majority, and then from our perspective, may be brought in and considered. So we had this experience of being the other in all aspects and so many aspects of life and experience. Well, as an African-American looking to reconnect to the diaspora, you know, I don't want to be an other. I want to be a part. And that question comes into play of, though I am of African descent, as I connect with, engage with, interact with those of the diaspora, in the diaspora, am I still othered? You know, yes, I'm of African descent, but you're an African American. You're not really African. Is that a thought or perspective? That's a question or concern I have. Also, as one considering how to connect and what that can look like, an honest, earnest question is, can Africa provide, or can I find the type of lifestyle or experience that I can embrace as one that is considering and mindful of being on the continent in a more meaningful manner? Can I find, or does it exist? And I believe it does. So my next question is, can I find that lifestyle, that experience to embrace and provide what I'm looking for? Which lends into the biggest question that for me, and I'll speak to my experience I have, of how, as someone who's a part of the diaspora, how can I truly connect and be a part of my history, my legacy, truly be a part of the diaspora, truly be a part of Africa and of the land, of the continent, of the culture, yet be a part of, yet coming from the diaspora. How do you really make that connection, and how do you really engage in that space? Okay. So those are my questions, and those are my thoughts and perspectives. I feel like it was a really simplified overview, but I wanted to provide a context of my experience and also recognize that I know mine is not necessarily a typical one. But that's what I wanted to bring to the conversation and see what comes from there.
Okay. Okay, so Madam Angie, we're so grateful for that presentation. And like I said from the beginning, this one is a family conversation, and we have few people we've selected to share their experience. What we are all talking about is we need to understand each other, the Africans in the motherland, Africans in the diaspora. We have to come to understand, we have to understand each other so that the return and all the partnerships and the collaborations towards business and entertainment and all of that will be done well. Before I go to Nikone and Keymama, they're all here. Anna, thank you so much for joining us. Mr. Solomon Adinote Okujato, thank you so much for also coming on board. I don't know whether I've introduced you, Mr. Philip Alimo. I think it should be too late in where you are in China now. Either it's early in the morning or late in the night, but you are here. God bless you. Mr. Gizo, thank you all for coming. Before I go to Ani Tairia Kone, who has been involved in a lot of diaspora affairs. He's a Ghanaian living in Canada. He has a magazine called the Nile Valley, and he has a whole lot of projects he's doing. He's here and will take his mind on the issue we are discussing. But before that, let me go to Mr. PC Asante. And Mr. Asante, you have been here before the start of the whole conversation. And behind the scene, we even engage ourselves. What do you have to say to add to what? And unfortunately, we don't have enough time. We have about some 25 minutes to draw the curtains down. So kindly share something on your mind with us in line with this conversation with us. Thank you. Kindly unmute yourself, sir.
Well, you know,
hello.
Nicole.
Okay.
Wait for me a while. Mr. PXC Asante is coming through, then you will follow, please.
All right. I hope I have the ending. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Thank you, Papa. Thank you. So, Mr. Asante, go ahead.
Well, we're on the elite athlete development side and want to bring that type of thrust throughout Central and West Africa. In addition for fighting for equal opportunities for young girls and young women to participate in those activities. So we're from a different perspective where that's concerned, to work with the educational system, the sporting bodies, and the governments to bring that to fruition. As you know, opportunities for young women inside of Africa is not where it should be. And tennis provide that opportunities for young women at the highest level, not only to compete, but in terms of financial resources. The tennis community is right now the #1 organization, the Women Tennis Association, in terms of financial opportunities for women. And as you know, I mean, African players are not properly represented on the tour. So that's our commitment. That's our thrust. I understand there are challenges when it comes to Africa, but there are also challenges here where we are in the US. And, you know, we must find our way to provide those opportunities in spite of the challenges that are there. So that's where we're focused on. That's where I'm coming from. And, you know, when we get there, we're not coming to tourism. We're coming to get the job done. We have less time, limited time. Let someone else have the floor.
Thank you very much. And when you go to the conversation board box, You said that anybody would want to travel to Kenya, you can provide support. Unfortunately, you did not include your name and your address. Then Mr. Adinote is also saying that if you want to visit Adan in Ghana, Adan is where the Volta River and the sea have met. And that estuary is so amazing. If you want to go to Adan, Mr. Adinote is also asking that he is there to provide support. That is by way of the chat room. Without wasting much time, let's go to Ni Teriakoni. Ni, like I said, has been involved in a lot of diaspora affairs, organizing festivals, heritage month conferences, and doing so much to bridge the gap between the diaspora and the motherland. Papa, it is your turn. Please go ahead. Neko, kindly unmute yourself and address your people.
Can you hear me?
Papa, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Oh, okay. I would like to welcome all the African diasporans on the platform. You are the reason why we exist. And I would also like to congratulate Mr. Opai for putting together such a platform to talk about the diaspora. What I would like you to know and to understand is that the second African Renaissance is on, and the African diaspora is the reason for the Renaissance. And so I would like you to focus on the 250 million African diasporas outside the continent and what they bring. But more importantly, I would like you to bear in mind that we should not be welcoming them only for business because they are coming home. Secondly, I would like the African diaspora to know that a house is not a home, and home is Africa. And so our responsibility for the 21st century as indigenous Africans, how do we welcome the brothers and sisters back after 400 years outside of the continent? Now, the 250 million that I mentioned is moral, spiritual, emotional, and most importantly, economic power. And we must learn how we are going to use this power. I have been here in North America for the past 53 years. And 50 years ago, I could tell you, anytime African Americans or any person of African descent say something or complain about an issue, the first thing you hear is, if you don't like it, go back. Now we are going, and they're not saying that anymore. So I know we are up to something good. The Renaissance is an important aspect of Africa's coming back. And so I want Africans to be able to extend an olive branch to the diasporans. And what I want you to do is to give them a discount on any service that you provide, because that is what brotherhood is all about. If you're selling ice water for $2 and the person tells you, I'm a diaspora, I'm coming home, give it to that person $1. Let him know that water is life. So you're giving it to him. That simple thing, that simple act, you will win them over. So we need to do more in terms of our hospitality. And as African, when I go to Ghana, what I'm looking for is how welcoming the people are. And I understand the African diaspora and the willingness to return to mama. But Africa must do more in welcoming them. We must not allow them to stay in Africa in a 5-star hotel. We must welcome them into our home, provide a room, a base, a sleeping area. Say, sleep here for the next 3 weeks while you tour mother continent Africa. And these are some of the things that we need to do to win them over. Don't expect them to just come and open a business when we have not showed them who we are.
Thank you, Papa.
So I believe that the celebration of 400 years in exile have ended. 1416 or 1516, to 2019, I believe, is 400-year mark. That 400-year mark, if you're a Christian, was prophesied that our people will live to a strange land and serve a strange people. And after 400 years, the prophecy says, I shall redeem you to your former glory. And so we are working on the promise and the prophecy that is being fulfilled in our own lifetime. So if you are part of this prophecy, you must begin to say, brother, I have your back. You must be able to say, brother, I'm your brother's keeper. You must be able to tell him that, brother, you are home. You must be able to share kenke and fufu with this person. You don't have to have money. We are saying to you, the diasporans, come as you are. Come, because Mama is calling you. So I want to end here by saying, we are out of many one people, and the independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it is linked to the total liberation and total freedom of people of African descent across the world. Thank you and love to you all.
Nicole, thank you so much. Nicole, Tairia, Okrumaja, hello. Okuraja. Okuraja. Name, thank you so much. That have been brief and very insightful. Thank you very, very much for what you. So we shouldn't just be interested in them coming to set up businesses, but we should be interested in helping them to know who we are. And when they come, they shouldn't go sleep in 5-star hotels. They should come home as real members of the family. That is the real take home. God bless you. Let me go back to the chat room and read.
Thank you so much.
Messages. And then Keymama was there. I've seen Nana Abina Sewa the first. Nana Abina Sewa has been coming to the motherland since 1995, and currently she's living in Ghana and doing great and mighty things. She's here. The first Asian American queen, all the way coronated, all the way in Nigeria, is also on point. So let me go here. We have a lot of people to talk within the short time that we have before we go back. So like I said, let me go and see the messages we have from the chat room, and then we can continue the program. Oh, what am I doing? I'm not able to navigate my way through the chat room. Okay, I think I'm here. Hey, sorry, please forgive me. What am I doing? Okay.
You want me to read from here?
Okay, so please Keymama, go ahead and read from there. Because I can't see what I have here.
Okay, that's cool. We have 1 second. Let me read from the top. I can provide support. You already mentioned that. My name is Mo Hussein, and I was invited by Donald Lacey. So he gave his email. Please check the chat box. Will everyone be sharing resource for those of us visiting in very near future? I will be visiting Ghana in April. This is Frankie, coming from Frankie. Haitian mother, my name is pronounced his name. I don't want to damage the name. I am the first Asian American. You mentioned that. Miss Lacey also said my name is Lacey, honored to be here from Oakland, California, coming to Ghana in March. Wow. Believe in Ghana. I don't see the name. Say I can provide support for anyone who wants to visit Ghana and its gold and diamond mining companies. So that's it. My great grandfather was a king in Haiti. I had coronation in Nigeria, you mentioned already. So please, we can continue.
Okay.
And Farmer Saralin, nice to meet you all.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. So, Queen Gloria, Queen Gloria Farmer, all the way from Sierra Leone. Nice to meet you all. That is so great. We are so great to have you all the way from that beautiful country. Where we are right now, Nana Abina, I'll come to you, but let's go to Madam Catherine Kujo. Madam Catherine Kujo, like I said, he's been in the forefront of organizing the Ghana Festival every year for the past 14 years in the New York City. And not just that, he has events on the June 19 for children and several other things that she's doing for the people, Ghanaians and other people living in the New York City. Keymama, this is the conversation we are having today. It's a cordial family conversation. Tell us what your take is on this issue on the table. Thank you.
Thank you all, and thank you for coming. And this is the day that the Almighty God has made, that we all have to come together and share our experience. Like Mr. Francis Opai said, once again, my name is Catherine Kujo, also popularly known as Keymama, the host for Keymama Show. I'm the president of the National Ghana Parade Council, and we've been holding the Ghana Festival for over 13 years in the Bronx precisely. You are welcome to come August 5th. I also host the Keymama Foundation Family Mix and Mingle for Children in the Bronx precisely. And coming June 17, we will be hosting the Juneteenth. This is our first celebration in collaboration of the Ghana Aviation a company that they wanted to join to celebrate this festival. So I'm so grateful. Being in the United States for over 20 years and seeing our brothers and sisters, we call them Akata because we are from the Africa, and then we came and met them here. But some really understand us, and some of us understands them. But many don't really get it. They still have this pain in their chest that our forefathers, great-grandfathers put them into slavery. And that is why they are suffering today. But we are trying to grow past that and see that, hey, this is a new era. And we are trying to bridge this gap. And we cannot forget the pain. It's history. If there's no history, there won't be anything for us to learn. So we are here to come together, learn from each other. So if you agree with me, my position now is to organize trips to Ghana. And Mr. Opai, this is something that we want to do, to not just to go and, gallivant all over the place. And when you get back and they ask you, where did you go? You just go party. No, this is going to be a social education tour. So I just want to share my screen with you. Just a second, let's go.
So Queen Adjoa Mensa, please get ready for me to share your experience with us. Nana Abina is also here. Nana Abina, thank you. A lot of people are mentioning in the chat room that you invited them, and I'm so proud of that. Thank you very much, Nana Abina. God bless you.
Okay. I will excuse myself and let Nana Abina come at the end. I will show the screen, then everybody, then we use that as a closing.
Okay.
Remark.
Okay. All right. Because we don't really have enough time. So Nana Abina, hold on for me. Queen Adjoa, Queen Adjoa Alina Mensa. Your story is even interesting because your son is have I been permitted to mention his name, but I love his name because he's a royal from the Nungwa stool. and his
Oh.
knee Bokete.
Yes.
Hello, Bote.
Bokete.
Ah, very good.
Mensa.
I'm so happy to hear that. So please go ahead and share your experience with our listeners, our audience. Are we audience? Our family.
Yes.
This
Okay.
is a real family conversation. And tell us also about your festival that is coming up next month.
Okay, I was invited by my sister, Abna, Nana Abna. She
You know Nana?
invited me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nana also invited you, isn't it?
She's invited everybody.
My God,
So,
Nana, the best organizer in the whole world.
yes,
God
yes,
bless
yes.
you, Nana.
Okay, so a little bit about me. I'm a Doctorate Queen Mother, and I'm native born New Orleans, but my New Orleans, for people who don't know this, is one of the first spots in the Americas, in America, where the ancestors was traded, sold, and also lived. So when they journeyed across the Atlantic slave trade, some was in Haiti. My mother told me the more defiant ones was dropped off on deserted islands, which formed the Caribbeans, and then they brought them down to Florida, to the port of Florida, and then they would journey down to New Orleans. So if anyone knows anything about the arts and entertainment in New Orleans, it comes from West Africa. It comes from West Africa. So Ghana was not named Ghana until 1957, so it was called the Gold Coast. So a lot of people in New Orleans don't know Ghana. They know it maybe as the Gold Coast or Côte d'Ivoire or some other name. But if you look at the map and connect the people from West Africa to the people down in New Orleans, that's where we do a lot of these celebrations, and that's where our ancestors, were there. One of the very first schools built in New Orleans was from a little girl. They named her Marie. She was from Guinea, West Africa. Wow. She came down to the Atlantic slave trade. So
hello, please go ahead. Okay, I think we've lost Queen Ajua. So, hello? Okay, so Nana Abina Sewa the first. Nana Abina Sewa, go ahead. Share your experience with us. You've been coming to the motherland since 1995, and you still do. What the conversation we are having tonight is all about trying to bridge that gap. We want the diaspora to understand the people in the motherland. The people in the motherland must also understand the diaspora so that this relationship will be a better one. Thank you.
Thank you, Francis. I want to say thank you first and foremost for opening up this platform so that we can have this dialogue. This is much needed and long overdue. And I'm hoping, and I want to put this out there, that not only will we have a conversation, but we'll move forward into some action following this dialogue, which is most important. Anyway, my name is Nana Abina Sewa, and I am originally from San Francisco, California. And as Francis said, I've been coming to Ghana, West Africa since 1995. And the first time I came was by invitation of Dr. Wade Nobles, who was a professor over at San Francisco State University. And I was working with him on a project, and he had been taking college professors from across the country to Ghana. And I told him one day, I said, the next time you go to Ghana, I want to go with the group. And he said, you should. And I did. And we came, and from the moment I came out of the airport, I knew I was at home. From the sound to the smell to just the air, it just felt so loving and welcoming. And then the tour was just wonderful. It was an educational tour. We went to Cape Coast, we went to Kumasi, and then here in Accra. And I met a traditional priest and his family in Kumasi, who invited me to come back and stay an extended period of time. And that's what I did. I went home from that trip, and 6 months later, I returned with my two older children, and we stayed for 6 months, and we became family. And so that's how my journey began. And then I started coming back and forth, and people started saying to me, hey, the next time you go to Ghana, I want to go with you. I said, you should. And so long story short, that turned into a tour company. And so that's what I currently do in Ghana. I've lived in Kumasi. I've left and went back to the States and went to China and did some work there. I'm also an educator, did some work there, and then came back to Ghana. And I've been here in Accra now since 2021. And I'm spending most of my time working on the tour company as I'm building it. My experience in Ghana has been very, very interesting. What I have learned is that anything you pretty much want to do here, you can do it. And you just do it, literally. There's always people, if you talk to people and they can help, they will help. Francis has been a very, very, very good help. I must say that. Thank you, Francis, for all that you have done and just helping me get acclimated, my Ghana card, and just basic little things that you need. We need that support. So I was happy to hear me extending that support, because that's what's needed most, is just the support, just someone to hold your hand. But eventually I charge us all to learn the language. The little words that I do know, when I'm in that market, Sister Angeline, when I'm in that market and I can just ask one little question, you know, how much does this cost? And I say it in Twi, then, you know, then that's a whole different bar game, you know, just you gotta learn a little bit of the language, or even get a little Ghanaian accent where they think, okay, maybe she's just speaking in English, but she really does know how to speak Twi. So my journey has been a wonderful one thus far. My passion and my purpose for being here is to connect the diaspora to the motherland, Ghana being that gateway for me. And I call myself the bridge. That's what I'm here for. So I'm here to support other diasporans who are coming, whether it's from the States, whether it's from Canada, whether it's from Europe, wherever they're coming from. I'm here to receive you. That's what I do. My tour company supports you. We are here. So whatever you need, reach out. My email address is in right there in the chat. Lately, we're doing traditional weddings. So people have been contacting us from abroad to arrange traditional weddings. We have one coming up on Saturday, Francis, and we'll be doing a naming ceremony in Francis' hometown on the 5th. I'm really, really excited. So thank you so much. I'm looking forward to working with each and every one of you, and looking forward to seeing you here in Ghana soon.
Okay, thank you, Nanabina. So much experience. So, Lady Angie, next time you should try and be mastering some of the African languages. That will help the connection. Right. Just like Nanabina. Nanabina says, whenever he goes to the market, he opens his mouth and know that he's an American. He will speak the tree back to you, and you yourself will start laughing, and that's the conversation starts right there. Mr. Isaac Tetteh, I'm so happy to have you on this call. And thank you very, very much. I'm sure Madame is also on the call as well. Thank you. Brother Davis is here. Thank you. And everybody that is here that I have not mentioned your name is not deliberate. If you draw my attention, I will do that. I am Apelete Ameto from Ghana. I was invited by Mr. Francis Opai. Thank you. My brother, we are so grateful to have you on this call. I am signed under my son. This is Diasporan Keymama Ajua Alain. Oh, okay, thank you very much. Thank you, my Queen Mother. And like I said, I'm so happy to have you have a son who is a royal all the way from the Nungwa state. Thank you so much. My name is Donald La, Texas, looking to relocate to Kumasi in Ghana. Please, can I connect with your queen when I come? My name is Lacey. Okay, Lacey, that is why we are here. When you look at the flyer that we used to invite you, we said that making the coming to the motherland affordable and simple. When you know who to talk to, who to help you to plan whatever you want to do. That makes it very easy. And Nanabina is here, Keymama is here, all these people, and I know Queen Mother, Ajwa, and all of them have projects running in Ghana. We want to demystify the coming to the motherland. We want to make it simple, affordable, and straightforward. And all of that will be possible if you know who to talk to, who to help you to order your steps. So, my brother, we are ready to help you. Is there any other message again? My name is Donald. Okay, wonderful. Okay, that's fine. Wadenobo was my teacher as well at San Francisco. Okay. Queen Mother, Nana Abena, was it the person who invited you to Ghana? Because I could see that somebody said that man was his or her teacher at the same time. I am a grandmaster in martial arts and fitness. Oh my God. Mr. Mohammed, you are the one we need. We have the wrestlers who have just won a award, 6 awards from Niger. And they are in the savannah part of Ghana. We need you in Ghana. If you are into that arena, we need you very much in Ghana. So you better start finding your way to Ghana, Grandmaster. We need you, okay?
Yes,
I love to
okay.
participate here. My email address is okay. So very good. We're going to do all of that. I am Talib Mohammed, invited by Nana Abina. I live in Las Vegas. Honored to be here. My brother, we are also very, very honored to have you here.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Gizo, let me go to Mr. Jefferson Gizo. Are you on call? Let's hear from you. You were AU ambassador to the Brussels. Let me see if he's on call so we can take a word from Mr. Gizo. Mr. Gizo. All right. I think he's not here. Keymama, we have just a minute to leave this domain. Okay, let's listen to the Haitian Queen Mother, Haitian African. I think he's still on call. My queen, please, can we hear your voice before we go?
Hello. I just left Orlando. I'm on my way back home now. There's a lot of people in the car. I cannot really say too much. Dr. Amo would like to say hello. He's here driving. Say hello, Dr. Amo.
Hello, team.
Oh,
nice
my
to
God.
hear from you.
Thank you.
And we have with us Matt Gasso, Attorney Gasso. She want to say hello.
Please go ahead.
Hello. I was waiting for you, and I don't see you.
Yes, because of these assignments, we are for God and country. We have a responsibility for the diaspora and the motherland as well. So we are trying to do that as well. So
Okay,
sorry, not
okay.
at a festival. But thank you.
3147 Manhattan
Thank
Street.
you.
Okay, nice talking to you.
All right, Mommy is here, so she want to say hi. Say hi, Mommy.
Hi.
Say hi.
Bonjour, bonsoir.
She said bonjour, bonsoir.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. You guys always make me feel at
Yes, it was nice meeting you, Brother Francis. We had such a wonderful time over there in Orlando. So hope to see you in Ghana soon. And I'm trying to see if I can come to the Ghanafest. When is it again? August?
Yeah, definitely. That's why the Ghanafest is in New York.
August 5th in New York.
Okay, well, listen, my daughter lives in the Bronx, so I will come.
Thank you.
I'm coming. I'm coming for sure, and I can't wait to come to Ghana. I'm coming to Ghana soon with my team.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
So, Keymama, over to you. Queen is saying that he would like to be part of the Ghana Festival New York, this year's edition on the 5th of August. So let's do that arrangement to have her come over. Thank you very much. Thank you. So soon the time is up, and we know it's late. In Ghana, it's 10 p.m. We wouldn't want to take much of your time. but on behalf of the holistic migration team. Oh, Keymama, you want to share your flyer? Do that one briefly before we go, okay? Because it's already time.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes, 5
Okay,
days
beautiful.
and mingle.
Yes. So this is, you can see migrant, Mr. Francis is right there. The frontier of this event, we all now, I'm partial diaspora and partial Ghanaian. So coming August, we are calling all interested individuals. If you have groups that wanted to take this 5 days meeting mingle tour in Ghana, you can contact Mr. Francis. You can contact me. I've put my link on the chat side. So we go and learn one day at a time for us to bend the gap, mend the gap together. And we are all one family. So please feel free to contact Mr. Francis if you are interested. It's a very, affordable package. And it's we can adjust your schedule whenever you are ready. And you're also officially invited to the coming events, which is the Ghanafest, August 5th. The Children's Day is June 10th. And also the June 10th is the June 17th. I'll post everything to Mr. Francis for you to join. We really appreciate your time. And Mr. Francis, please take over.
Okay, so Mr. Isaac Abraham Mensah. Okay, so that is Queen. Okay, Queen, go ahead. I've seen your hand up. You have something to say before we go. Keymama, can you take your screen down for us? Queen, I've seen your hand up. Can you unmute yourself and talk to us before we go? Queen Ajua.
Thank you for being there.
Hello.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I'm Sir Mohammed. Do you have something to say before we go?
No, once I come over there, we can all work out.
Thank you. Thank you. What about let's see.
As long as you have a towel with you.
Okay.
As long as you have a towel with you. So, because when you work out, you're gonna sweat.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. We can't wait to have you in the motherland. And like it was said by one of our
and
elders.
you guys can look me up on YouTube. Look me up on YouTube.
Okay, sure, definitely.
You can look me up on YouTube. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. One.
So, Lacey, do you have something to say?
Yes.
Very active on the page.
Yes, I was invited by Sister Deshaun Muhammad, and I'm making my first trip home ever in my life, March 16th through 27th. And I'm anxious, excited, and looking forward to coming home.
Great. So we are all going to support the Nabina to host you well, so that your coming to the motherland will be a memorable one. Honestly, we can't wait to have you in Ghana. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm honored. I'm honored.
Yeah, so she's Sister Deshaun, but here we call her Nana Abina Sewa the first.
The first.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't even recognize you. My bad. What's up?
Okay.
See what happens when you get old.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think I got it working now.
Yeah, so my sister from Sierra Leone, Lady Jeanette, can we have a word from you before you go? All the way from Sierra Leone. Can we hear your voice, please?
Hello.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. Good day, everyone. Yeah. Nice meeting you. I was invited by Mr. Fagley Mr. Dagba.
Okay.
He gave me the link to join it. So hopefully I'll be in Ghana this week. So I'll see you guys all.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. We can't wait to see you in Ghana. Thank you very much. We can't wait to see you in Ghana.
Yeah.
Okay, Queen Elena.
Okay.
Can you give us your final word before you go? Because I can still see your hand up.
Okay, we're having a no-look in New Orleans in the USA. We're celebrating the contributions of our West African ancestors that helped create the arts and entertainment, as well as build the city of New Orleans. So if you are in America, please come down and support. It's going to be Saturday, February 11th. It's free admission. We do have vendor opportunity for those who would like to come down. And we're going to have Afrobeats music. So it's going to be from 12 noon to 6 p.m. And this is actually the Lundi and Mardi Gras season in New Orleans. And again, they're entertaining religiously off of our West Africa ancestors' contributions. So come down and support.
Thank you very, very much. And this year is so close, but next year we would have a space. We would like you to extend an invitation to some of our chiefs and queen mothers in Ghana. They need to come and listen to some of these stories they need. Just today, somebody told me was going to bring me a write-up or a document on a Ghanaian lady from Kumasi who built the first school in Orlando, Florida. Amazing stories across the whole world, and we need to connect. So next year, get ready. You have to send us invitation so that we can arrange for some of our chiefs and queen mothers in Ghana to come and also have a feel of what you do and be part of this wonderful festival that you do every year. We appreciate you. On behalf of the Holistic Migration Consult team, I would like to thank all of you for taking time off your extremely busy schedules to be part of today's conversation. Like I said, last Saturday of every month till December, we are going to have this conversation. Next month, we have a legal practitioner who will take us through the application process to become a citizen of the Republic of Ghana. So you wouldn't want to mix next month's edition. And every month we'll let you know what the conversation is going to be about. This is a friendly, cordial family conversation, and we want everybody to feel at home and be part of it. This is what you have heard. As you go back home or as you meet family and friends, let them know that this is a conversation that they ought to be part of. I celebrate all of you all for coming. Thank you. Madam Angie, can you say a prayer for us to close us, please?
Yes, I can.
Go ahead.
Heavenly Father, mighty creator, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to connect and reconnect. Thank you for the purpose and plan that you have for all of us. And thank you for the relationships, networks, and avenues that you put in place to have us walk fully in the purpose and calling that you have for each of us. Cover and protect us all individually and as a family and our families. This we pray in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Thank you all. God bless you all. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you, everybody.
Amen.
You didn't recognize me. Oh, Donald, sorry.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay.
Thank you,
So
When is the next meeting again?
the next meeting is last Saturday of February.
Oh, it's, it's every last Saturday.